Hello, my name is Alexey Matveev, and in this video I will show you how you can work with Atlassian Data Center Cluster. We will write an application which can be installed into all Atlassian Data Center products. Right now it's Jira, Confluence and Bitbucket without any modification. And this application will show you the cluster node ID. What's the problem? The problem is that if you want to work with clusters in Jira, Confluence and Bitbucket, you need to use a different manager. The manager is written one for Jira, one for Confluence and one for Bitbucket. And if you write a common code which should work on all products, you should import all three of these managers into your application, but it will not work. Okay, I will show you why. First of all, let's have a look at our cluster service over here. As you can see, for example, to work with cluster node with Jira, I need to use manager from Atlassian Jira package. To work with Bitbucket cluster manager, I need to use Atlassian Bitbucket cluster service. To work with Confluence, I need to use Atlassian Confluence cluster manager. So when I'm writing my REST API, I need to import all three of these services and then somehow decide where I am. Am I in Jira, Bitbucket or Confluence, and then use this service. But the problem is, if I import all the services into my constructor, my plugin will not start. Because when my application will be starting, it will try to find these services for Bitbucket, for Confluence and for Jira, and of course it cannot be done if you install it into Jira. Bitbucket service and Confluence service will be absent from this list. That's why you need to do it somehow else, and that is why I created a library which later you can connect to your common code, to your application which should be executed in all Atlassian Data Center products, and then use it. Okay, let's have a look at this library, what I've done here. First of all, I wrote an interface, cluster manager, and basically right now this interface provides only three methods: get node, get current node, and its cluster. That's all. Later, if you need to add something, you can add something. Then I created a cluster manager for each product: Bitbucket, Confluence, and Jira. Here is the Bitbucket one. So I'm implementing my interface, which I defined, and then in the constructor, I'm using OSGI services to import cluster service from Bitbucket. OSGI services comes from Java config. It's like, you know that in Atlassian applications, you can initialize beans with Atlassian Spring Scanner and with Java config. That's how you can do it. And right now I'm choosing Java config because Java config lets me import my services dynamically. That's exactly what I need. Then I'm importing this Bitbucket service, and then I use this Bitbucket service already to export all information I need. The same done for Confluence cluster manager. Again, I'm importing cluster manager, Confluence cluster manager, and then I already use it to get all information for my methods. And for Jira cluster manager, actually I also could use the same type of import, but I decided to use get component, so it also works. Okay, now the main thing. The main thing, I need somehow to understand in what product I am, and then already to initialize the manager which I need. And how to do that? That is my default Atlassian cluster manager. And here I use application properties. Application properties, it comes from SAL, Service Access Layer. This Service Access Layer should be used in applications which are written for all Atlassian products. Because, for example, if you want to work with user in Jira, you can use a user manager which is defined in Jira. In Confluence, so you can use something defined in Confluence. But if you want to write a common code which works in Confluence and Jira, you need to use user service from SAL. But the problem is that not everything works perfectly in all products from SAL, but mostly everything works. Mostly you will not have any problems. Okay, so I'm using here application properties. I'm importing this application properties as usual with OSGI service, and then I define where I am right now. Application service contains a method called getPlatformID, which returns Jira, Conf, and Bitbucket. And now I know where I am. And after I found out it, I'm looking. If I'm in Jira, I'm initializing my Jira cluster manager. If I'm in Confluence, Confluence, and if I'm on Bitbucket, I'm in Bitbucket cluster manager. That's it. Now the library is ready. I should package it. I install it into email and repository. And later, if I'm writing my common code, for example, over here, my common code, first of all, I need to add my code as a dependency. It should be somewhere here. Let's try to find it. Here it is, see? So I added it as a dependency. Now I can use it. Next, I need to initialize my cluster manager. And I'm extending it from default Atlassian Cluster Manager. I'm using Atlassian Split Scanner. You can use Java config or whatever you want. It does not matter. When this bin is initialized in my application, I'm going into the constructor, and here I provide the manager which is needed for my product. And later, when I'm in my REST endpoint, for example, I'm just importing my cluster manager, this one. This cluster manager already queries the cluster manager from my product, and then I'm checking if it's clustered, then get cluster ID. If not, then write it not clustered. And then, for example, I installed this application to Jira. Here it is. Here is my Jira. It's a Jira Data Center. As you can see, I'm on node 2. And now I can query my REST API over here, REST Cluster Manager. And that's it, you see it returns node 2. If I install it to Bitbucket, it will work with Bitbucket. If I install it on Confluence, it will work on Confluence. That's it, what I wanted to show you in my video. Hopefully it will be useful for you. Thank you, bye-bye.